Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We invite you to follow the English Chinese news on the Central Television channel of the Nai Province. Yesterday, Prime Minister Phạm Minh chaired a conference to perform the task of developing the stock market in 2024. The report at a conference that the capital mobilization activities for the stock market in 2023 have prospered, where total value of capital mobilization for the stock market reached 418,271 billion dong, up 33.5% compared to 2022. Vietnam's stock market index increased by 12.2% compared to the previous year, creating favorable conditions for businesses to raise capital through the stock market. Speaking at a conference, Prime Minister Phạm Minh affirmed that developing the stock and bond market is an objective requirement to promote person and business activities of enterprises and to make development investment for the government. The Prime Minister emphasized many tasks and solutions in the coming time and affirmed determination to upgrade Vietnam's stock market from marginal to emerging market by 2025, a trend in direct investment capital of about $25 billion per year. Yesterday, the delegation of Provincial National Assembly led by Comrade Võ Minh Cường, Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, head of the Provincial National Assembly delegation, supervised the implementation of policies and laws on renovating the organizational and management system, improving the quality and efficiencies of operation of public non-business units in Biên Hòa City in the period of 2018-2023. Through organizing and streamlining payrolls in the period of 2015 to 2021, the city has cut 6 payrolls of non-business units, ensuring a part of recurring expenditures. The organization of streamlining the apparatus has helped reduce intermediate level focal points, reduce the number of deputy leaders. Speaking at the conclusion of the supervision section, Comrade Võ Minh Cường, Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, head of the Provincial National Assembly delegation, shared with the difficulties and pressures of the city. Regarding the reorganization of public non-business units, the Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Committee directed the general spirit of streamlining the organization and apparatus associated with downsizing, but improving the quality and efficiencies of serving the people. Yesterday afternoon, Vice Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee, Nguyễn Thị Hoàng, and Võ Văn Phi met with the Biên Hòa City People's Committee and representatives of departments to listen to reports on inspection results of enterprises invested in Tân Hạnh Industrial Cluster. Tân Hạnh Industrial Cluster, with a scale of nearly 55 hectares, is planned for investment and construction to relocate production facilities that pollute the environment in Biên Hòa City. The cluster came to operation in 2016 and has started 29 relocated businesses. The problem is that in general conditions, there are still many difficulties, production and business decline. Meanwhile, Tân Hạnh Industrial Park doesn't have a management board, so it has a horizon related to investment procedures, land, construction, fire and explosion prevention, and etc. At the conclusion of the meeting, the Vice Chairman of Provincial People's Committee assigned relevant departments and sectors, coordinated and guided Biên Hòa City to establish the management board of Tân Hạnh Industrial Cluster and develop operation regulations. At the same time, support Biên Hòa City to review and guide enterprises to develop production, conservation, and development of Biên Hòa traditional pottery industry for more than 300 years. Besides, detect and promptly handle violation of land, investment, and construction according to provisions of law. This is an interesting market story. Business in the current context has been already difficult. Business in the field of healthcare products is even more difficult due to many intertwined factors. Having been doing business for nearly 10 years in the healthcare industry, Ms. Nguyễn Thị Liên, distributor of Korean ginseng, collagen, and bird nest products, knows by heart the difficulties of the quite special profession. Among them, how to convince consumers that your products are really effective and useful for health is the hardest thing. A healthcare product is only really effective when used for a certain period of time. However, when consumers only use it for a few days and feel that their health does not improve, they don't have enough patience, then they quit and do not use it anymore. The demand for healthcare through functional foods and supporting products is currently quite high. However, it is difficult for a business to persuade consumers to decide to spend their money to buy and use. Mr. Nguyễn Văn Đảo, Biên Hòa civilian said, I also want to find out carefully because this affects health. The criterion is still good quality products and cheap prices. Good quality, low price is currently a criteria causing headaches for genuine health food traders because, in fact, products in this group, whether imported or domestic, also have very high import prices. Ms. Nguyễn Phương Hà, Sales Director of Saffron Vietnam Đồng Nai branch, said, my product is difficult to reach consumers because when researching, people will question why a product is so expensive. Ms. Nguyễn Thị Liên, Korean ginseng distributor, said, there are lots of counterfeit goods, poor quality goods. If customers do not have specialty like we do, they cannot distinguish. Then they will say why this place sells it cheaply but another place sells it expensively. Ms. Nguyễn Thị Liên, Korean ginseng distributor, said, there are lots of counterfeit goods, poor quality goods. If customers do not have specialty like we do, they cannot distinguish. Then they will say why this place sells it cheaply but another place sells it expensively. Statistics from Ministry of Industry and Trade and the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development show that the proportion of processed agricultural products in Vietnam currently account for an average about 10% of the total harvest, leading to a significant post-harvest losses. In 2023, Vietnam's agricultural, forestry, and fishery export reached a turnover of over $53 billion. In the first month of 2024, agricultural export also grew strongly, reaching $5.14 billion, of nearly 80% over the same period. Many economic experts believe that agricultural, forestry, and fishery export will be able to achieve much higher value if investment in deep processing industry increases, limiting the situation of bumper crop, but the price is not high.